Come inside. For the end, the freshest and the cutest and the, let's say, most, yes, I'm proud of Hoptopod. I'm proud of all my beers, but this is something which can be, I don't know, maybe crossroad for this brewery. Who knows what we will get from this. This is that Flying Dogma, collaboration of Flying Dog and Dogma. IPA, fruity, dry with Galaxy hops and called Flying Dogma Galaxy IPA.
This bottle's like a day old, maybe?
Fresh as a hell.
Beautiful.
The freshest one.
And this is a collaboration with you and Flying Dog based in Maryland, in the US.
Crazy story.
Well, here it is. I was obsessed with really hoppy IPAs, and I didn't expect to find one in Serbia. We're underground.
Okay.
And this is your first...
All the time underground.
This is your first investment in your passion for beer. Tell me the origin story of Miners Pub. Why Miners Pub?
Miners Pub because I'm from a mining town. That's the first thing. 3 of us, 2014, April, we were thinking about a business. I was going out of distillery, where I was a food technology engineer. I was a distilling boss. I have that thing, modern brewers, when they are successful, they want to become a distillers. I was a distiller, and now I'm a brewer. We are now in, let's say, a mine, in a mine which was a gold mine now from this point of view, like 2 years from a start of Dogma, which is now a gold mine of Dogma Brewery, because if we did not open the Miners Pub, we could not open afterwards Dogma.
This is your baby.
This is our tap room, Dogma tap room.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
When I was a kid, my first real beer was in the parking lot of a Grateful Dead concert. And it was a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, and I had never had such a thing. I was drinking Budweiser and things like that. And it was so hoppy and it was transformative for me. But before that, when I came to Europe, I came here for beer because beer in Europe, particularly in Belgium, Germany,
Czech Republic,
Czech Pilsners.
Yes, yes.
These were the iconic beers that you couldn't get in the U.S.
Medieval beers.
Yes.
Medieval beers. Yeah.
And that was a tradition here. But you, in large part, were inspired by American beers.
I don't know. I think it was October, something like that, when our friend Peter and Alexander, they came. They wanted to see a tap room, maybe to do something, some after party, connected with, at that moment, some conference. You know, I'm all the time in chaos because we are still small brewery, small business, but everything is growing really fast. They told me like, okay, some guy, some brewer from Flying Dog, Jim Caruso, CEO, he will come, maybe he will speak at the conference. I was like, what? Please, get backward. What? Who, Jim Caruso? Can I get a phone? And they were like, okay, we will try it. Can I get email? Yes, we will try with Matt and Terry, blah, blah, blah. And, okay. Hi, Jim, it's Vladimir. I'm from Dogma Brewery. You can see this here. You can see this here. You can see our credibility at Untapped, Rate Beer, whenever you want to check how our beers are.
It was, I think, early morning when I had Vladimir on Skype. And I was in tears. He was so funny and so knowledgeable. You know, I just like loved this guy. And it was a thrill from the start to talk with him, to understand his depth of knowledge in beer and his enthusiasm for entrepreneurism and free trade and this collaboration. So it's been a labor of love from the start.
And the craziest story is that those are parallel lives on different spots in the world. And I'm so proud for that. You know, I'm so proud that I pursued somebody from Flying Dog, which is a legendary brewery. You know, we had Flying Dog here. We had few distributors for Flying Dog in Serbia from start of, let's say, in Miner's Pub and 2014. So we know about the beers, and I knew about their philosophy for hoppy beers. And when I spoke with Jim, I had 2 video calls, I think, yes, showing the brewery, goosebumping all the time like a teenager. What the fuck? I'm speaking with some celebrity and some legendary people, and he told me like, okay, this is cool. I will connect you with Matt Brophy, which is my head brewer and chief operation officer.
Well, it's interesting. You know, I got a call from Jim one day. He started telling me about Vladimir, told me about kind of the relationship, how you're involved, and he said, give this guy a call and, you know, tell me what you think, let me know. So I FaceTimed with Vladimir, which was awesome, and we started talking, and we kind of hit it off right from the beginning. We seem to like the same kinds of beers and approach brewing in a lot of similar ways. You know, I kind of explained that I prefer beers that are a little drier. I certainly love hops. These days I'm not so crazy about beers that are very bitter, but I like a lot of hop character, and we started talking about hop varieties, and of course there's scores and scores of different hop varieties, and we happen to be fans of kind of the similar types of varieties, so we kind of mentally started painting a picture of what a beer would look like if we were to get together, and it started shaping up right away.
And I had just 2 emails with him when we defined the recipe and the name. Flying Dog, Dogma, Flying Dogma. Which hops? Galaxy? Yes.
Well, I like Galaxy hops because of the insane kind of tropical fruity characteristics that they bring to a beer, and it's quite a unique hop, and we've had good success with some other beers, and so hop both Vladimir and I love.
Here is a recipe. We want to get dry and fruity beer. I think we've got it, and drinkable at the end.
I've already told you this, but this is delicious. This is
Grazie.
everything it should be.
It's very refreshing.
So you are having for the first time this collaboration beer, Flying Dogma, and you're German. You expect a certain quality in your beers. What do you think of this one?
It's very, very good. I've heard that the American microbreweries are good, and I can now confirm so.
And you've never had a beer like this before?
No, it's a very, very special taste, yeah.
Now you were telling me earlier that your first American beer was a Bud Light, and you made a commitment after trying Bud Light.
Yeah, I decided to never drink American beer again, but people just got mad at me when I said that and said to me, you have to try the microbreweries, because they are actually good.
Yeah.
My philosophy is drinkability and balanced beers, because that's the business.
Yep.
You're coming back to something which is tasteful, balanced, and drinkable. This is a stadium in my hometown. My hometown is a really specific hometown, you know, because it's a mining town without houses. We didn't have houses like small houses. We had only buildings, and it had, from a start, it had a cosmopolitan spirit. We had Italians, Germans, Jews, Muslims, everybody gathered in one small mining town because of mining, nothing else. And I'm raised in that part of the, let's say, small universe, and that's, I think, one of really, really important things for my development afterwards, is that I was not bothered about that, who is from Italy, who is from Germany, and everybody were friends. So because of that, I'm so spontaneous now, and I can speak with every human being in a second.
So one of my favorite economists, a guy named Frédéric Bastiat from France, supposedly said, when goods don't cross borders, armies will. And I'm struck by the fact
Nice.
that you're collaborating with all these countries across Europe and now in the US. And there was a time when you would all fight with each other. Not you, but the countries, and
Whatever.
And I'm struck by this culture in craft beer. There's so much collaboration and cooperation because you all feel like you're going to grow your market together. Is that
Yes,
fair?
That's fair. That's 100% right opinion, which I'm standing behind that opinion also, because if you don't work together on the same principles, at the end, at the same product, nobody will get some bigger value for his business. We had also collaboration with one Russian brewery. We had Budapest, Hungary. We had here one domestic collaboration, which will be traditional. Every May we will produce something with our friend from Crow. Now in the next few weeks we are going to Zagreb. There we will have 2 collaborations. After them, in just a few days, we will brew also with Garden Brewery, and we will do with them some sour IPA with those guys from Garden, because they have a brewer which is from New Zealand, and he's a real beer geek. With Zmajska we will create New England IPA, which we did not produce here because we have a hoptopod, we have albino, and I did not want to get something over them which will maybe get the customers to those different beers, those New England IPA beers instead of hoptopod, because hoptopod is my son and he needs to last. The second one, which is the favorite of Dogma and which is a bestseller, is a hoptopod. Story about the hoptopod came from here, and this was first. After that we created a hoptopod. Definitely American style IPA. Somebody is saying it's a West Coast IPA. I'm saying American style IPA with 60-70% of Mosaic, my favorite hop, and it's a win-win situation everywhere. For my distributors in other countries, here for the sellers. So this is a real flagship. From my mother, I've got that fighting spirit, all the time fighting spirit, all the time, okay, listening, speaking, watching you in the eyes, watching your hands, watching psychological thing, like your body language, everything, but if you're lying to me, we'll be in a problem. If we are speaking really sincere and cool, we'll be totally cool. And that's that DNA which I got from her. She's a Vlachian. She's from a Vlachian part. My father is a Serbian guy from Serbian part with my surname and everything. But fighting spirit, profiling from mother, working spirit from mother and father, and open to new knowledges from father. This is, as I told you, April 2014. At that moment we had only 4 taps. Now we have 15 taps with 13 local breweries, craft breweries, and 2 just industrial. Nobody created American style IPA like Hoptopod before Dogma, period. After we opened the brewery and we spoke about name of the beers, my philosophy, first thing with my philosophy with brewing is to create drinkable beers. That's first thing. That's a business thing. When you're creating a beer which gets you like to take another one, that is to come back to another glass. That's my philosophy, and that's first one. But second one is to give you an information about what will you drink if you see a name? With this one, this is a Svetionic Pale Ale. It's called Lighthouse, Svetionic on Serbian. Yeah. And the idea was to create a beer with a name which is giving first information to a customer, like that is something light. It brings you light. You know, it's an extremely drinkable beer for craft beer beginners, and a beer for every day, all year long, and for those guys which are maybe scared from hoppy beers or craft beers or whatever, and which are maybe too much related with industrial lagers or whatever. So this is a first level. And at this moment, 32,000 liters in fermenters. We started with 16,000 liters by month, and now just 18, 19 months with double capacity, also because of the customers and because of the market. Now all fermenters are full, but because of that, we have that liberty, to freedom, to create some different labels, you know, because we have a space. Really nice, and at this moment, one of, as I told you, 4 core range beers is a Miss Queen's. I don't know if I need to explain to you which fruit is Queen's, because it's really hard to explain. I needed to get information that in Czech you can say, you need to say Queen's Kdolu or whatever. I need to Google to show them pictures and images. And the Miss Queen's is a beer which was created with the idea to create a beer with a Serbian touch. It's a pale ale, really drinkable but hazy because of the addition of Queen's fruit. The
first time I was here, you have a cooler in the back where you keep your hops, and most of those hops come from Yakima, Washington.
Yes, 99% at this moment. Yes. Oh, sorry. Those are the fridges. We are using. We are keeping those hops in fridge, and this was used like 2 days ago. Let's see which one is this. This one is, oh, this is Chinook. Smell it.
Oh, that's fantastic. So I broke many international laws to smuggle some of these beers back from Serbia, and you guys are about to try your collaboration for the first time. Let's go at it.
I'm excited. Let's do it.
So tell me what you and Vladimir were trying to accomplish.
So we were looking for something that's nice and drinkable, very fruity from the Galaxy hops, of course, so there should be big aromatics here, which you certainly get. It's very juicy, juicy as we say, and it should be pretty dry in the finish. It shouldn't have a lot of sweetness to it.
And that's what you were striving for? You wanted that dry finish?
Yeah. It's the balance is real nice, and again, we weren't looking for a lot of bitterness. But you know, there's just the right amount of bitterness, just the right amount of malt sweetness, and you got a lot of great fruity, juicy hop character there.
Does it taste better because international laws were violated?
Maybe just a little bit, yeah.
I have to say, you can't discount that.
And I might have been detained a few times on the way, but it's worth it. So success.
Success.
You've been judged successful.
Success. Yeah, all right. Thanks,
congratulations.
Guys. Cheers.
For me, excusez-moi, but that is really, really virtual. For me, if I produce something which is alive, and beer is a live product, because of yeast, and that's it, and because it's going like this. If you're producing something which consumer is getting inside, not getting here on a phone or getting here on a print or not. No, if you're getting something inside and if you're consuming that, if you're not creating that sincere with a bigger quality than something average, you cannot succeed. If you're not creating this with this, and if you're not staying behind that and that, you will not get success. I remember your words from Prague, and I had a footage of that when you said, don't be surprised if one moment, the best IPA in Europe, I don't know if you said in the world, but I think in Europe, comes from Belgrade. And you had only applause.
There's something like you have that sort of relentless attitude that entrepreneurs always have. Like
Going through a wall.
People tell them that they can't do it, that there's a wall, and you go right through.
No, through, maybe beside, maybe I jump over, who knows? It depends upon the wall, you know, it depends about that.
Part of your personality is you have to do something 110%. So
All the time passion, all the time passion.
You don't want to do this just a little bit.
I cannot do this, you know, I did not came here for 7 days, not because I cannot get, it's far away. No, I'm living like 10 minutes from here at New Belgrade, but I'm all the time in Dogma, nothing else. Dedication, it's not a passion, it's a dedication, the real word, dedication. In dedication you have passion, masochism, blah, 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 blah. All the time layers.